Okay, if you are just joining this webinar, we're going to give it just about a minute to let additional people join, and then we will get started with today's program. Okay, I think we are ready to kick this off. So welcome everybody to the Chicago Transit Authority to our first virtual career fair of 2022. For this career fair, we're going to be talking about how you can take any seasonal skills or seasonal work that you may have participated in, whether it's delivery driver jobs or retail associate jobs, and transfer those skills into a stable career here at CTA. And specifically, we're going to be talking about the bus operator and customer service assistant positions. So if you have interest in other roles, CTA definitely has a lot of opportunities, and you can find out more about that on our website, on our careers page. But today we're really going to be focusing on bus operators and customer service assistants, or CSAs, as we like to shorten it out to. Today, we're going to share a little bit about both of these positions. We're going to talk about the hiring process at CTA and what you could expect if you decide to apply for one of these jobs. We're also going to be interviewing two hiring managers from the bus operations department and the rail station management department, the team that oversees these two positions. We're going to be talking to them about their careers and what they look for in successful candidates. And at the end, we are going to have a question and answer session. So if you have questions, you can submit those through the Q&A box or the button that you see at the bottom of your screen. I know we did receive several questions through registration, so thank you in advance for those. We're going to try to get to those as well. And just a note about questions, we do want to make sure that we are keeping this information relevant to everybody who's on the call. So if you have a question about some general, information about either of these roles or CTA, we're happy to answer that. If you have a question about something like an application that you've already submitted or a position that we're not talking about right now, there are ways for you to get answers to those questions, and we will let you know about what those are later in the presentation. But before we get started, I want to introduce the rest of the panelists who are on the call today. So I'm going to start with the recruitment team. Jamie, can you please introduce yourself?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for participating in our virtual interview today. Virtual job fair today. My name is Jamie Wallace. I am one of the talent acquisition specialists for the 241 positions here at the CTA, bus operator, bus servicer, bus mechanic. Thank you all for joining us today.
All right, thanks, Jamie. Taisha, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Taisha Banks. I am also one of the talent acquisition specialists here with CTA. I hire for local unit 308, which hire for positions such as flagger, track worker, rapid transit operator, as well as customer service assistant.
All right, thank you, Taisha. Delon, can you introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Delon White, and I'm the manager of talent acquisition. Really excited to be here today. I am part of a team that oversees the filling of our positions and hiring for positions like part-time bus operator and CSA. However, we also fill lots of union and non-union positions across the authority. So really excited to have you with us.
All right, thanks, Delon. Jeannie Alexander, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Jeannie Alexander. I'm Vice President for Rail Station Management, which is the area where the customer service position falls under.
Okay, thank you, Jeannie. And Steve, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, everyone. My name is Steve Fuentes. I am a general manager in bus operations. So if you're interested in a part-time bus operator position, I would be part of that hiring process. Glad to be here.
Okay, thanks, Steve. And finally, Arlana.
Hi, my name is Orlando Johnson. I'm also a general manager of bus operations. Thank you for joining us and thank you for having me.
Great, so thank you to our team. I'm excited about the information that you're all going to share in just a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just a reminder, if you do have questions, go ahead and submit those through that Q&A. You won't be able to see those questions come through in the chat, but be assured that we have received it on our end. It's just the way we have it set up so that only we can receive questions. So as we mentioned, we're going to be keeping an eye on those and answering as many as we can during the Q&A session. But without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Jamie and have her tell you a little bit about CTA career paths.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. All right, so simply here at the CTA, our mission statement is to deliver quality, affordable transit service, which links people, jobs, and their communities. The CTA has roughly 10,000 employees, both union and non-union positions. We serve the Chicago area as well as 35 area suburbs. We have 130 bus routes, 8 rail lines. Some of our locations within the Chicago area will be headquarters. That's where some of the recruitment team is stationed. We have 7 bus garages. That's where the part-time bus operators and the bus mechanics work out of. And then we have 9 rail lines. That's where the CSAs and the flaggers work out of. And then we also have more locations throughout the Chicagoland area. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about the bus operator position. So the bus operator, what they do, bus operators operate the bus on an established route, adhering to the predetermined schedule in a safe and efficient, customer-oriented manner. Some of the requirements for the bus operator position is 1, to submit and successfully pass a drug and alcohol test, to at least be 21 years of age, to have an acceptable driver's record, as well as have a Class B CDL, which is a commercial driver's license, or a Class B CLP, which is a commercial learner's permit, with the 3 endorsements listed, which is general knowledge, passenger, and air brakes. And further down the line, we'll talk a little bit more about those endorsements. Now, the bus operator position does start out as a part-time opportunity. Within maybe 6 to 18 months, it can transition to a full-time position with seniority. The position starts out at about 32 hours per week. Now, keep in mind that the CTA is a 24-hour establishment, meaning that you can possibly work nights, weekends, holidays, even overnight shifts. The salary for the position is $23.44 an hour. It does come with 30 to 45 days of paid training, and it also comes with medical benefits. So that's a really cool thing because it is a part-time position, but it does come with medical benefits. Now, for those of you who may already, or who don't have your CDL, no worries there. We do also train you to obtain your CDL. And again, that is paid. Where it says location, assignments, and shifts, with time, you will be able to pick your location or your garage as well as your shifts. Starting out, we will place you wherever is needed. Now I'm going to hand it over to Taisha so she can tell you a little bit more about the customer service assistant position.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Remember to be prepared to ask lots of questions during our Q&A session. Now let's talk more about Local 308. One of the positions with Local 308 is our customer service assistant, known as CSA. This position, which is the customer, this position provides at a high level to our transit customers aboarding transit trains and in or around the transit facilities, along with assisting transportation personnel as required. A few requirements to obtain this position: you must be 21 years of age or older, as well as submit to and pass a drug and alcohol test. CSA position starts out at $15 an hour. This position does offer medical benefits. Please keep in mind that this is a part-time position with the opportunity to transition to full-time based on seniority. CTA is a 24-hour operation, which means we never close. Although you wouldn't be asked to work a 24-hour shift, we do have shift times that spread throughout the day. Assignments and locations are based upon a manpower need in which you will be assigned your location and shifts. Once you gain seniority, you will participate in what we call a system and schedule pick. This means you'll be able to pick your shifts and locations. Excuse me. Our hiring process. CTA often receive hundreds of applications. So it is best practice to apply for positions right away. Remember to visit our upcoming jobs page to get the first insight on jobs soon to be posted. You visit our website at transitchicago.com, upcoming jobs/opportunities. Then you will find the job postings on our career page at transitchicago.com/careers. We provide the job title, posting date, and in most cases, the starting salary. How to apply. Remember to visit transitchicago.com/careers, fill out a profile, submit online application and resume. Here are a few questions for you to ask yourself when applying to a position. Do I qualify for the job? Do I have the years of experience, the degree, and certifications required? Is my resume current? Do I need to upload a new one if I apply for CTA jobs in the past? Does my resume speak to the job that I am applying for? If the role requires a driver's license, do I have that? And is my driving record clean? Most of our positions require online testing. Some of those tests are general knowledge for customer service, which can be an online written test, or for a practical test, such as basic mechanical skills. All candidates must pass testing to move forward in selection processes. Passing scores are valid for 3 years, and failing scores, you must wait 1 year before retesting. I will now pass it back over to Jamie.
Thank you so much, Taisha. So now we will talk a little bit more about the driver abstracts, also known as the motor vehicle reports. So if you successfully pass the written assessment for the part-time bus operator position, we will then request for you to send us a copy of your driver abstract or your motor vehicle report. Now you can access this document from the Secretary of State's website, or you can request it in person. The cost for the driver abstract is $12. Be sure when you send us this document that you will include all pages of the driver's abstract, including the supervision page. Now, some things that we look at when we are reviewing your driver's abstract or your motor vehicle report are listed below, which is driver convictions or accidents, suspensions, supervisions, revocations, and DUI occurrences. Now, keep in mind anything that is financial related or financial responsibilities, those are excluded when we are reviewing your driver's abstract. If you successfully pass the driver abstract review, then you will be invited to a virtual interview. Virtual interviews typically take about 30 to 40 minutes. You'll meet with one of the recruiters and one of the department managers. Basically, what we focus on is your work history, your driving experience, and your customer service experience. Now, we do use a STAR method to conduct the interviews, meaning we want you to give us real life specific situations that happen to you, your actions, and then what your outcome is, or was. Here are a few tips that we would like to share when you are interviewing. Be sure to review the job description before the interview and think about how you meet the requirements. Be sure to log in early to test your video and your audio connection. Set up in a quiet place to interview with minimum distractions. Wear appropriate interview clothing. Present yourself in a polite and professional manner, and provide answers about what you have done to demonstrate your experience. And again, I'm sorry if I didn't mention, the interviews are not in person, they are via the Zoom platform. Now we'll talk a little bit more about the CDL requirements, or the CLP, which is the Commercial Learner's Permit, the CDL, which is the Commercial Driver's License requirements. So the CLP or the CDL can be obtained from one of the two DMV locations below, which is the Elk Grove Village location or the South Holland location. Again, you would need to take the written assessment for the general knowledge, passenger and air brakes, and the cost to obtain your learner's permit is going to be $60. Passing it back over to Taisha so she can tell you a little bit more about the pre-employment process.
Thanks again, Jamie. Okay, so our pre-employment process consists of a few things. One, we do medical as well as background, COVID-19 verification, vaccine verification, as well as a sleep fatigue for most of our positions that are safety sensitive. So our pre-employment process, the background process, consists of fingerprinting, and we do run and have supporting agencies from the FBI as well as Illinois State Police. Now, some of these processes can be lengthy, or some of them can go fast for some participants based on the candidate. Our medical processes consist of, for some positions, a DOT physical, a HPE, and drug screening. And as I mentioned, for our safety sensitive positions, you will be required to complete a sleep fatigue, which is a sleep apnea awareness test. So how our hiring timeline goes: you will first apply, take a test if applicable, interview, the onboarding process will then begin. You will then take a physical or drug screening. If applicable, you'll take a fatigue training, and then you're off to new employee orientation. Some of the perks of working for CTA. Well, CTA does offer, as we mentioned, medical benefits for full-time and part-time employees. You'll also receive free transit on CTA and PACE. We do offer continuous support, training, and clear job standards, professional development and opportunities, and employee-only access to special events like Holiday Train and Bus and the Transit Jamboree. I will now pass it to Lindsay.
All right, thank you, Taisha. So now we're going to go into an interview with a couple of our hiring managers from both bus operations and rail station management. So we can go on to the next slide, Jamie. Okay, so Steve Fuentes is again, general manager in bus operations, and Jeannie Alexander is our vice president for rail station management. So welcome to both of you, and thank you for joining us today and teaching us a little bit more about these positions and what they'll be responsible for, as well as your own career. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right, why don't we start with both of you introducing yourselves and talking a little bit about your own careers at CTA. What was your first position here, and how have your careers progressed throughout your time? Let's start with Jeannie.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Lindsay. For me, my CTA my career CTA started back in, I would say, 1999. I actually started as a summer student here at CTA as an intern. I worked in various positions, but primarily it was a customer assistant back then. So I do like to point out that I did work as a student intern while I was in undergrad as a customer assistant, which is now equivalent to the customer service assistant position. Additionally, would you like me to continue throughout the progression?
Yes, please. Yeah, you can just summarize your whole career.
Okay, perfect. So upon graduation, I returned back to CTA and I worked in various positions from, let's say, rail maintenance training. I also worked in our rail operations division. I held positions ranging from
Okay, I think we might have lost you there for a moment, Jeannie. We'll give her just a moment to see if she can reconnect.
Okay, I'm sorry, my screen froze. Did you get that?
I think maybe back up about 30 seconds. We lost you for just a bit.
Okay, my apologies. I'm having some connection issues. But I just wanted to say, overall, I worked in just various positions here at CTA, ranging from, again, rail maintenance training, rail operations, and holding positions from project specialist, administration manager, program developer, general manager, senior manager, now into the position of rail station management vice president.
All right, thank you, Jeannie. Steve, what about you?
Great, thank you, Lindsay. So I started my career with the CTA in 1994 as a part-time bus operator. I started at North Park Garage, which is over by Foster and Kedzie. I went on to operate buses for about 16 years. And then I went into bus service management as a bus supervisor, which is still a union local 241 position. And that was in 2009 when I became a supervisor. After supervising for 3 years, I made the move into management as a bus operations manager in 2012. Since then, I've moved up in bus operations management, serving in various capacities, including manager, senior manager, general manager, and director of bus operations. So 27 years total with CTA as of last November.
Congratulations on 27 years. I think it's just a really incredible testament to what's available at CTA, hearing your movement from both of you and the various departments you might have worked in or the various positions that you might have held. And I think that illustrates really well some of the possibilities that occur here at CTA. So let's move on. What are some of the top skills that you're looking for in these positions that we've talked about, bus operator and CSA? So what are the skills that people need and what are hiring managers looking for? So Steve, let's have you talk about bus operator first.
Okay, some of the top skills that I see in order to be a successful bus operator would include having good character. You spend a lot of time alone. This is after training. You have your job, you have your run, what we call, you have your schedule. You get a 40 or 60 foot CTA bus. And for the majority of your day, you're working alone as far as no boss. So you got to have good character because there are, ways and opportunities to get yourself in trouble. So good character really, really benefits you as a bus operator. Having a lot of self-discipline, because we are very strict when it comes to time. Many of you on the call have probably been at a bus stop and maybe you had the schedule and the bus was late. That bus could be late because the person assigned to that run might have been late getting to work. And so we had to scramble to find somebody else to work that position. So having good self-discipline of getting up early, getting to work early is gonna be a tremendous benefit. Another one would be having a lot of patience, being a patient person. You're gonna work with the public. And if any of you currently or in the past have worked with the public, it can be challenging. The public can try every last nerve on some days, but then other days it's great. It's a blessing to be out there. You meet people from all around the world. I remember my 16 years as an operator, just meeting people, visiting Chicago from overseas, and it's just great to be out there. Another good quality and top skill would be having good communication skills. You're going to get asked a lot of questions as a bus operator. And what you don't want to do is just kind of, put them off or say, well, I don't really know. So the best thing you could do is be a good communicator. You may not have all the answers, but at least you can tell them where they can find answers, give them our 800 number, our travel communication number. So being a good communicator goes a long way. And just enjoy working with people. As a bus operator, you are an ambassador for the CTA out there. You're the front line. You meet our customers. You're the first person that they interact with. You represent the company. You may be the only CTA representative that our customers who board our buses, pay their fare, may ever interact with. So what kind of an impression do you want to leave on them? You have to enjoy people, enjoy working with people. Absolutely, it can be challenging. Some days you may want to pull your hair out like I did. But other days it's going to be smooth sailing and you're just going to meet some of the most wonderful people in the world. As far as the second part, what do hiring managers look for? Hiring managers are going to look for positive, career-minded people who enjoy working with the public and working with other folks and would enjoy the challenge of making a move to a new career.
All right, thanks, Steve. Jeannie, how about for CSAs?
Okay, great, thank you. Primarily for CSAs, the customer service assistant, that is our part-time position. We're initially looking for people who, similar to what Steve stated, who have great customer service skills. Many times the customer service assistant is at a station and they are the point of contact for our customers traveling, whether it is for directions or if they have questions regarding fares and things of that nature, just want to get off the trains. They are the point of contact. We like to call them our station ambassadors. They are people. They are people. They are people who are very approachable. We also are looking for people who are overall, it's in the title, customer service assistant, people who are eager to help, people who are eager to serve. We're looking for people who are trustworthy. You spend a lot of time alone at the stations. So we want to make sure that you can update information, be able to
Oh, shoot, I think we lost Jeannie again, so we'll give her just a few seconds to try to join.
Yeah, Lindsay, while we're waiting for Jeannie, I would just add that some of these skills that I mentioned and that Jeannie mentioned as well, maybe you feel like you don't have them right now. Maybe you don't love working with people. Maybe you're not the most patient. Skills can be learned. Skills can be learned just like attitudes can be chosen. You choose your attitude and you can learn skills. So you may not have it now, but the payoff is worth it as far as a career for you, a good future for you and your family. So you may not be the most patient person right now, but you can always learn that. So don't let that deter you from applying.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yep, we've got you back now.
Okay, my apologies. I'm having some connection issues, so I'm coming from my phone. So I do apologize about that. I'm not sure how much you all heard, so I do apologize, but I definitely wanted to just say, if I can just reiterate someone who's task oriented and just when we're interviewing in people, we're looking for someone who is just really eager to come on board, be a part of a great team and display enthusiasm and just ability to come in with an open mind. Look forward to learning a lot because there are a lot of things that come with actually understanding and performing a job, but definitely people who are just looking to be a part of a great team within the rail station management division.
All right. Thanks, Jeannie. The other thing, you all talked about your advancement at CTA and your own career paths, but what are some other opportunities that people in these roles could potentially go down? What are some of the other roles that you see bus operators and CSAs, transitioning into if they're looking for something different or if they want to, climb the ladder within the company? We'll start with you, Jeannie.
Okay, great. So for our customer service assistant, there are a couple different paths that they can take. With it being a part-time position here, we have CSAs in seniority, or they can, of course, transition to our full-time position of a customer service representative. That does take some time because it is a position that they transition in seniority order. However, there's other different avenues here at CTA where many people go over into, of course, we have CSAs who've gone over into the bus division. We have CSAs who go over into the rail operation division. They start as a flagger, they transition into rail operators. We also have CSAs that go from the kiosks right into our janitorial positions, go into our laborer positions. So there is a vast amount of opportunities for employees who choose to take the CSA position as to get their foot in the door and just utilize that opportunity to get into CTA. And then you can expand. I have former CSAs who actually work in our IT department from the booth. So there's many different opportunities for employees based off of, I would say, just some of their past experiences, their education, and just ability and skills that they obtain here at the authority as well.
All right, thanks, Jeannie. Steve, how about for bus operators?
Yeah, as far as opportunities for advancement, somebody in bus operations, there's many opportunities to advance. You can go into, like Jeannie said, you can go into other departments. You don't have to stay in bus operations, because once you're in the CTA family, we call it family, you can move anywhere you want to go. As long as you can meet the qualifications of a position, any job postings that are out there, they apply to internal candidates as well, meaning you already work for CTA. But as far as specific to bus operations, you could go to other departments. However, within bus operations, there is a line that you can follow as well. Some of those positions would include becoming a station clerk. This is more of an administrative task-oriented position where you oversee a lot of the administrative side of getting all of our runs out there on the street, making sure that our 130 routes have service out there, filling runs when people call off or deal with absenteeism. You could go into bus service management and be a bus service supervisor. These are the first responders on the street. Both of those are still union positions. Bus service supervisors respond to emergencies, set up reroutes. They assist all throughout the city, from the far north to the far south. So you can do that. You can also move into bus instruction and become a bus instructor. Bus instructors, they teach. These are people who love communication, have good communication skills. They teach people who get hired to be part-time bus operators, as well as other positions. And also you can move into bus operations management, kind of the path that I took after being a supervisor. And you can go into bus operations management, and once there, you can, climb, move up in those positions. There's various positions. There's about, 3-4 levels of between the vice president and the first level of management. So there's various opportunities there. If you have a can-do attitude and keep your work record clean, the sky's the limit here at CTA as far as how far you can advance and where you can go to.
Great, thank you. I'm gonna cut us a little bit short here because I want to make sure we get to our questions, but I am going to ask each of you one more question and kind of put you on the spot. So what are the top 2 reasons that individuals should consider these 2 jobs, or one of these 2 jobs, whichever one they're interested in? So Steve, real quick, what are the top 2 reasons somebody should be a bus operator?
Okay, I got it limited to 2. Great benefits for you and your family. Which could really change the future, of your lineage, and good pay and opportunity to do things for your family and for yourself. Really good pay. So.
All right, thank you, Jeannie. Top 2 reasons for CSAs.
I say someone, if you're looking for working with people, a part of an organization that is bigger than itself, so they have to be a part of special events, but also if you are looking for flexibility. I know with this being an entry-level position, many people come in, for like part-time work, and they have, we have being 24/7, they have ability to just be flexible. We have the varying shifts where people can get work assignments.
All right, thank you to both of you. So I'm going to turn it over. Jamie, if you want to advance the slide, I am going to turn it over now to Delon, who has been monitoring our questions. What questions do you all have for our recruiters or our special guests from bus operations or rail station management? You can put those questions again in the chat box. And just a reminder, if there are things that we're not able to answer here today, there's more information on our website, transitchicago.com/careers. That's also where you can start an application for either of the jobs we were talking about today or any other CTA jobs. And then if you're having having an issue with your application or you have a question, you can email our recruitment team at ctacareers@transitchicago.com. But Delon, I'm going to turn it over to you. What are the questions that people are wanting to know?
Well, I will say that we've got lots and lots and lots of good questions that have come in. So we'll try to get through as many as we can. We won't be able to get through all of them, but like Lindsay said, you can definitely find more information on our website, transitchicago.com/careers. And you can also definitely reach out to us, ctacareers@transitchicago.com. But to get started, we've got some questions that have come in about work locations. So the question is, what are some of the work locations that someone could be assigned for the customer service assistant or the bus operator positions, and how is that determined?
Okay, well, I'll just jumpstart. For customer service assistant, we are split up amongst 9 terminals here in the city. And so we have 145 stations, but each location or route has a roughly about 33. And so we have clerks that pretty much do our assignments. And based off of when you are hired, if you're coming in the middle of a peak, you work what's called our extra board. You'll call daily to get your assignments, but you'll work on a specific route. What I mean by that is someone picks, let's just say, the red line. If you are out of our 95th terminal, you will only work between 95th. You can work any station between 95th through North and Clybourne Station in the loop. You don't go all the way up to Howard or Jarvis or anything like that, just to kind of give someone some context. But if you get allowed to pick a position in a station, and that way you can work that station based off of the amount of work that is left when you participate in a pick. So for those who are unfamiliar with our process, if you're out of a terminal, there's only a certain amount of stations and shifts that you will work. I don't want anyone to think that you will be all over the system. You're on the red line one day and then you're on the blue line the next. It doesn't work like that. You're out of a specific terminal, and then you'll get your assignments based off of the jobs that fall under that specific location.
All right, and for Jeannie, were you finished?
Yes, I'm done, Steve.
Okay, all right, for the bus operator position, we have 7 bus garages spread throughout the city from the far north, which is our Forest Glen facility. It's near Jefferson Park, Forest Glen area, all the way to the far south, 103rd and Stony Island. 7 garages are spread throughout the city. We have 130 bus routes, and those routes are divided up, not equally, but they are divided up based on location and geographic, based on where the garages are, what areas they service. So every garage can have anywhere from 15 to 25 routes or somewhere about there. And as far as how you get put at those positions, it's based on needs. It's based on our manpower needs. We may need more people up north. So as you get hired, we're going to send more people there to make sure that those north garages can fill all of their required service. If we need people in the south, then you may find yourself at one of our 3 south side garages. So we have 3 in the south, and we have 2 in the central area, over by Kedzie and Jackson, along with Chicago, Pulaski, and then we have 2 north locations, Kedzie, Foster, and over by Elston and Armstrong.
Thank you. And as a kind of a follow-up to that, so in addition to work locations where someone might be assigned, I've got a lot of questions about shift scheduling and the flexibility needed for when someone might be assigned a shift. Are they working during the day, at night? Does it rotate? So can you all talk a little bit more about that? Kind of related to that, some questions around, are these positions primarily in person? Are they remote? Are they weekend only? Are they seasonal? So can you all speak a little bit to that?
Well, sure. So for the customer service assistant, it is a position where you will actually report, so it's not remote. The customer service assistant is housed throughout the system at the various stations within the rail operations division. So at each rail station, that is where primarily the customer service assistants, they would be housed at those locations. As it relates to the scheduling, we operate in AM, PM, and midnight shifts. AM starts as early as 0500, gets off at 1 p.m., which is 1300 hours. We do use military time. Or we have 0600 starts. So that pretty much is like an AM start. PMs pretty much come in anywhere between 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., working 8-hour shifts throughout, I would say about 2100 or 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And then the midnight shift start between 9 p.m. going into 5 a.m. or 10 p.m. going into 6 a.m. the following day. So roughly those are pretty much the hours. The way that it's scheduled, again, it basically goes off of your area. It goes off the need where you were going, and then based off the open work that will be placed for the next day. So employees will know if they're interested in that position. The oncoming employees will know what terminals that they will be working out of throughout the system, as well as what shifts they will be assigned. Some shifts are up and down based off of an employee working on what we consider our extra board. That is an employee that does not have a specific job where they pick, and those employees get their assignments daily. They do have set off days, but on the days where they would be scheduled to work, those employees would get a notification from the terminal. They contact the terminal, letting them know where they will go on the next day that they're scheduled to report. Thank you.
Okay, and as far as bus operator, as a part-time bus operator, what your scheduling looks like and how it's handled. As you come on board, you go through the hiring process, you finish your training, you get assigned to one of our 7 bus garages. From there, you're going to be put on what we call an extra board. And so you're going to be assigned something by one of our schedule clerks. You're going to be assigned a different piece of work every day. Now you can get the same piece if, let's say, somebody's on vacation. You're going to fill in for people who are absent from what they selected. They can be off for various reasons. They can be off, due to sickness. They can be off on vacation, scheduled time off. As whatever's open, you can potentially be assigned by the schedule clerk. Now, every 3 months on average, 4 times a year, bus operators have what's called a pick of runs, where you can select whatever runs you want to work consistently. If you like knowing every week it's going to be the same schedule, or you can choose to stay on the extra board if you like variety and being, having a different run, different route, meeting different people every day. So the more seniority you build up, the better those pick of runs get for you. Everything in the union, is based on your seniority. So you're going to be, you can select your work, or you can be assigned to the extra board, or you can choose the extra board. As far as our schedules, we run, we're a 24/7 operation, our company, but not every bus route runs 24/7. We have 130 routes, and every garage does have some routes that run overnight. But you'd be surprised that a lot of our more seniority employees like those night cars. They work overnights. So don't fear, like if you get hired, you're going to be stuck working overnights for a couple of years. It doesn't work that way in most cases. Sometimes you will, but for the most part, we have the AM rush. We service rush hour here in the city of Chicago. We're the 2nd largest transit agency in America. Our focus is the AM rush hour and the PM rush hour, getting people to work and school, getting people back from work and school. So we send out more service during those periods, less service in the middle of the day. As a part-time bus operator, you're going to work weekends, you're going to work holidays, you're going to work some evenings as well. But again, it gets better. It's not forever, and the more seniority you build up, the better your scheduling will become.
Thank you all for that. Very, very helpful. I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. Again, we had so many come in, so hopefully this captures a lot of people who are interested in this. Can you all speak a little bit more about training? So I think one of the questions came in about training on the rail side, specifically around safety training for rail positions with the customer services assistant position, as well as somebody comes in with their CLP, their commercial learner's permit. What does training look like when they're starting the bus operator position?
Okay, so for the customer service assistant position, once candidates are successfully selected and they become new employees, they would pretty much go through our course with HR or NEO process, new employee orientation. And then from there, they would start the day 1 of our training portion. Our training portion roughly goes about 11 to 12 days, inclusive of formal in-class training. And we'll also give them an opportunity to learn the ins and outs of the position, all of the various verbiages, pay and fare structures as it relates to the position. Additionally, it's followed by on-the-job training, which what we refer to as line instruction, where they'll get an opportunity to learn and work with another employee that is in the same position, seeing how things are done on a day-to-day shift, getting the opportunity to also qualify in doing that, showing that they have demonstrated the ability. There are quizzes and tests that are part of that process. And then from that process, that's when the employees, if they are successful, once they complete training, they are then going to and assigned to those locations where we do have the need within the department for them to go. But roughly it's about, I would say 11 to 12 day training. And also in that training, you also get training to operate around the tracks and, live rail, which is our pretty much our 600 volt third rail that we have. So you get an opportunity with employees to just be familiar with the systems. They go through subway walks and things like that, just to give them an overall understanding of what they will be faced with if there are incidents and things of that nature, to help with our customer safety, as well as any type of evacuation of station if that's something that needs to happen.
Okay, as far as training for part-time bus operators, the training that we currently operate is 6 weeks long. It's 30 days, Monday through Friday, barring holidays, of course. So it's 6 weeks. Everything that you need to know to be a successful bus operator, you're going to learn within those 30 days of training. You're not going to be released. You're not going to be on your own. You're not going to have your own bus until you are ready to handle that. So our instruction department does a great job. They're some of the best in the industry. They will get you ready from day one, knowing nothing about CTA, nothing about operating a 40 or 60 foot commercial vehicle, to on day 30, you're ready. You've driven all of our vehicles that come out of your bus garage. Not all of our 7 garages have what we call the articulated 60-foot buses. Only some do. But whatever equipment you're going to have to drive at your location, you're going to be trained on. The instruction department will make sure you understand how to be accident-free out there, how to avoid causing accidents, how to avoid any safety issues. Then, the rest is going to be up to you. Like we talked about earlier, just having that good self-discipline and good character is going to really go a long way, because once you're on your own, you're going to draw, from everything you've learned in training, and you're going to be all set. So it's 6 weeks, 30 days, Monday through Friday, and then you will be on your own with the garage, but you're not going to be alone. You're always going to have the instruction department to help you. You're going to have your management team at your location to help you, the clerk team, supervision team. Everybody's going to be there to support you and make sure you're successful.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. And then I think we have time for one more question. We are a little bit over time, but we're going to try to wrap it up here. Just a general question around, you all each have very extensive experience, lots of opportunities that you've had working in the departments that you've been throughout your careers. What's something that you wish that you knew when you first started that might help somebody who is considering applying or has recently applied or is hopefully going to be starting with CTA in the near future?
Delon, can you say that again? You broke up. I'm sorry. Just
sure, no problem. Sure, no problem. What's something that you wish that you knew at the start of your career that helped you to kind of navigate CTA for someone who is interested in applying for the position, has applied and is in consideration, or is ready to start in the near future?
One of the things that I would say is for, I don't want to say me personally, but I just think from experience that if people just really have an understanding of the CTA is much larger than what they may see. And what I mean by that is you may apply for this position, but understand there's so many different opportunities here. So I just think that it's really a great opportunity in understanding that there's so many various positions, and that there is truly a structure where you can start really from, an entry-level position and truly work yourself up. I think a lot of people don't really understand or grasp the concept that so many people in upper management started in positions of, just like what we're talking about today, of part-time positions, and just let them know that it is truly possible to start in a position, gain those skills, and continue to work your way up throughout the company if that's something that you desire to do.
Okay, so as far as what I wish I would have known back when I started my career in 1994, that helped me now is just how doors will open for you if you are a hardworking person. You do the best that you can with what you have. You will be identified. You will stand out with amongst your peers, and your bosses will come to you without you even necessarily applying for positions, and they will point out and they will say, hey, I think you'd make a great clerk. I think you'd make a great supervisor. I think you'd make a great manager. If you are a hardworking person, you come to work every day, keep your record clean, good character, the doors will open wide for you. Don't feel like, do I really want to be a bus driver for the next 20 years, 25 years? It doesn't have to be that way unless you choose to. There's nothing wrong with it. Plenty of my friends, colleagues, coworkers have made a career simply driving a bus, and they loved every day of it. However, if you just want to use that as a stepping stone, the opportunities are ripe, and you will be identified and you will be asked to put in for positions that we feel you're good for.
Excellent. Thank you all again for answering these questions. And we appreciate everybody who submitted questions. I know we didn't get through even half of them. So the information is on the screen for you to get more information and hopefully get more answers to your questions that haven't been able to be addressed here. I'm going to turn it over to Lindsay, but before I do so, I also just want to make note that we do have a lot of questions that came in related to is the vaccination a requirement? So just wanted to address that really quickly before I turn it over to Lindsay. Just a note to all applicants, the Chicago Transit Authority does require that all employees be COVID-19 vaccinated. Therefore, if you are offered employment, proof of a COVID-19 vaccination will be required as a condition of employment and as part of the hiring process. I know there are a lot of folks who were interested in more about the CSA position, the customer service assistant position being posted. If it is not currently on the website for you to submit an application, you can also create a profile to sign up for alerts for when that position is posted. We post jobs every Friday, and we're definitely interested in seeing many of you apply if you haven't already. And I'll turn it over to Lindsay. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Delon. And I actually just did check, and customer service assistant is posted on our website. So for those of you interested in that job, and bus operator as well, both of those are posted now. You can head on over to the link that you see, transitchicago.com/careers, and start your applications for those roles today. But Jamie, can we go to the last slide? All right, so just want to remind everybody to follow CTA on LinkedIn. This is where we post more information about our jobs, our career opportunities, and it's also where we feature different staff from around the authority to help you learn a little bit more about who's behind the scenes and who makes up this organization. So follow us there to get the most up-to-date information, as well as on our other social media channels. Thank you so much to our special guests, to Steve and Jeannie and Arlana, who was there for questions. And to the recruitment team as well for joining us today. We really value your input and the experience that you all shared. So just really, really grateful for that. Thanks to all of our attendees who joined us and asked great questions. Again, we understand we didn't get to all of them, but there are ways for you to get those answers again by going on our website or emailing that ctacareers@transitchicago.com. So thank you once more, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and we hope to see many applications from many of you in the very near future. Bye, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lindsay.